welcome to Country Music Social Media, because you're quite new to us, and we are getting loads of airplay for you and a lot of love for the Westlands.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you are, you're brilliant. So tell me about yourself. Firstly, where are you both from?
Well, I'm from good old Walsall.
You can probably tell from the accent.
Yeah. All right. I'm from Walsall. And Emma, you're from whereabouts? Are you from exactly? You kind of wander around, don't you?
I'm a bit of a mongrel, but at the moment I'm near Leamington Spa.
Leamington Spa, okay, yeah. So you're further up than me. I've got a cat's tail waving around in the background.
I know, I'm so sorry.
It's great. That's okay, it's fine. You'll probably have another one in a minute because mine's hovering behind me. So tell me about the dynamics, Westlands. Where did you start? What's the relationship here? Because you're a country duo sort of straight band, aren't you? So how does it work?
Yeah, Steve and I met a long time ago. We're both in other bands, and the guitarist in the other band that I was in worked with Steve back in the golden age. And Steve recorded and produced a track for us, and so we kind of got talking whilst we were recording about our mutual love of country music. And then during lockdown, I wrote a track, and I think I posted it on Facebook, and Steve got in touch saying let's record it. And then we just we kind of did a remote recording session, and we started writing together, and somehow it just clicked all into place, and we thought, oh, we sound quite good together, don't we?
Isn't it funny how things kind of work out like that? A lot of conversations I've had have stemmed from lockdown, because we've got Steve and Emma here. You're both from, is it just called the Westlands? Is that how you?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of airplay, and I know you've been sort of, you had your own airplay before we even came to us, but we're getting so much love, like I said earlier, for you. So what are you kind of influenced by? Are you, obviously, like country music, do you have your own kind of influence, or are you just trying to create a new sound completely?
No, I think the new sound for us is probably coming from the fact that we do these react to videos on YouTube, which are quite fun, and we often don't agree on what we like. So I really like sort of the sort of country rock kind of side of things, as well as some of the traditional country like Tim McGraw and people like that. But I like Luke Combs, the Brothers Osborne, Cadillac 3, Blackberry Smoke, people of that nature. And then Emma comes in now and then with things like Miranda Lambert and those sorts of influences. And it's
Carrie Underwood, the Chicks, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we kind of take the melodic elements of what Emma comes up with, because Emma tends to come up with a lot more of the melody lines for what we sing. And then I will generally kind of then try and rock them up a little bit from an instrumental point of view. And the two just seem to work. The two seem to just work really well right from the very beginning, because we've got a really wide mixture of sounding songs in our sort of back catalogue so far.
Yes, it's like you've got the melodic stuff like the Chicks, but then you've got some grit in there as well. So I mean, I love the Chicks. I love Miranda Lambert. I'm actually going to see the Chicks in July. Looking forward to it. So, so it's got that kind of sound where you've got a mixture of sounds going into one. But I like the way you put that extra added grit, because it gives it a bit of oomph as well. But you've also got the lovely melodies. Which do you write the melodies, or how do you do it? Does one write lyrics, one write melodies?
Well, just say on the grit, we both play in metal bands as well.
Oh wow, it's a bit of a contrast.
So this is our chilled out music. It's quite nice to come to, because we get to sing rather than belting out these giant tunes all the time, which is quite nice. Now it's a bit of a mixture. Like some of the songs I've written, some of the songs Emma's written, and then some of the songs we've co-written, and then sometimes I'll make the music, send it to Emma, and then she'll do all the lyrics. And it's started to become more that way recently, hasn't it? Where I will sort of generally come up with the music and then send it you, and then within about 10 seconds she sent me some lyrics back. She's really quick. She's an English teacher, you see, so she's very good.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, she's
good with words. I get scared to send any lyrics over because I just have my grammar corrected all the time. So
I'll send it back covered in red pen,
little crosses,
apostrophes.
I bet she's got a pencil right there to hand if you ask her.
Excellent, love that. Oh, that's brilliant. So when do you go gigging together as the Westlands? Do you gig together? Yeah, and do you have a band with that as well? Or was it just
so some venues will play an acoustic duo, which tends to be Steve will be on the guitar. On the odd occasion, I'll whip out the mandolin and we'll try and do some kind of duos together. And other times we'll play as the full band, which is a 5-piece. So it depends upon the venue. It depends upon what somebody wants. So a couple of times promoters have been in touch and asked us to play as an opener. So can we come and do an acoustic set? Or sometimes they've got in touch and said, we want you to be main support. So can the full band come and support? So we're fairly flexible like that.
It's nice.
So it's nice. It is, isn't it? I think, and it's nice to be able to do both because I do the same solo, duo, and trio. It depends again what the venue wants, doesn't it? Really. So no, I get that. So what are you looking to do this year? Are you doing more music, albums, tours? What's going on in Westlands world?
Well, we're actually slowing down on the recording side just a little bit. We put out, and I said this to Ken actually. I spoke to Ken, and I said that what we're going to probably do is because we released a lot of music really fast, mostly because of COVID, and then we wrote so many songs, we just put them out one after the other. I mean, we're still a relatively new band, haven't done all that many gigs, and yet we could go out and do an hour and a half, 2-hour set, like no problem. But we've got so many songs. But so what we're doing now is we're concentrating more now on the promotion of the band, getting out there, getting more people to hear the stuff that we have already put out. We'll probably represent a lot of the older stuff as well to radio and start. Now we're starting to build up a little bit of a following, start concentrating more now on building that sort of following. But I think we said this the other day in a podcast of our own, that we're very conscious that every time we go out, we have a lot of people, which is really nice, that come and see every show, which has been great. But we like to come with something different every time. So we've got loads of festivals, haven't we? You're probably better with dates than me, but we've got a ton of stuff. We've got gigs coming up, and we've got some great festivals. What's that? We got Godiva, which we're playing as
that's the two of us.
Playing on the BBC stage at the Godiva Festival.
Oh, wow.
And then the big one for us is the British Country Music Festival in Blackpool.
Playing that
as well. Can't wait for that. So yeah, it's cool. It's just concentrating now and getting more gigs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the big one now for us.
So any other music you want to bring out, obviously send it to us. We'll get it out as well to our database. Yes, definitely. We'll do that for you. And so I also, do you do podcasts or like YouTube videos, like little conversations and things like that? Because I've seen something online. You do? Okay. So that's just the two of you giving a bit of banter or disagreeing with each other? Sometimes. Yeah, we do different stuff, don't we? Sometimes we'll do just conversations. We got a podcast that we've started. It's on Spotify and all the different platforms and on YouTube. No, Spotify and YouTube. Called The Westlands in Conversation. We've just started it. Sometimes we're in conversation with ourselves. Sometimes we're in conversations with guests. We've had a couple of guests. We've had a BBC presenter on the show. We've had a really cool, fun Canadian duo called Broadtree on the show. So we've only just started it, but we have a lot of fun with it. It's cool. And the reactive videos are hilarious because Emma just...
They are fun.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because I've got no filter, I think.
Yeah, I like that. I think it makes a much more interesting conversation, doesn't it? Yeah. Who needs filters anyway? And I'm sure some of our artists, actually, I'm sure some of the country music social media artists would be interested in coming along. Just put it in the group. Yeah, put it in the group chat, and I'm sure you'll get some people who'd love to do that, and that'd be great. So now, before we end the conversation, we're going to play a couple of songs at the end of this. I'd like to know a little bit more about them. So I wrote them down earlier because I spoke to you. Country Life for Me. Tell me a bit about that one.
Country Life for Me came about from Steve messing around with a riff in the studio. I think it's maybe the second or third time that the actual other lads in the band had been in the studios practicing, and Steve started playing a riff. And the way that if we're writing a song like that, the way we normally do is I'll put the bass down and go and pick up the always ready pencil and just start jotting down a few ideas. And the lyrics came pretty quickly for Country Life, didn't they? Pretty quickly. As soon as we heard the proper bouncy melody, I thought, okay, I've got an idea what we're doing here. And then Steve and I drove to Sheffield to record the song with the guy, Mike Crumpus in Bass Culture. Go on, Steve.
Yeah, we had... because we kind of went to Mike Crumpus. If you guys are like serious about wanting to get your music to sound the best there is, Mike's about as good as they get. He was from Nashville. He worked in Nashville for years. He was guitarist for like Elton John, Nelly Furtado, people like that. So he's got a studio up there. So we've thought, well, for the next few songs, it'd be nice. We've got this little bit of a budget because normally we produce everything ourselves.
Yeah.
So we went up there with the very basics on acoustic guitar, because that's how we write everything. And then he sort of session played on all of the tracks for us. And when he came up with Country Life for Me, it was nothing like what I imagined it was going to end up sounding like.
Yeah.
But the end sound was just, it was so good and so much bigger than we could have imagined it to be. But that made it more fun. We were like having such a good time, like writing that one. And we each said to each other, didn't we, when we was in the room, it was like, playing this one live, I think this is going to be the one that I think people will really enjoy, because it's just about playing to empty rooms, you know, like, and then one day the dream being going off and selling a headline show in Nashville or something, you know.
Everything that most people who've played in bands have done at some point is playing to just, you know, the sound engineer and the barman.
Yeah, more than I'd like to admit. It happens to the best. It happens to everybody, isn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a rite of passage, I think.
It is. I think you have to pay your dues, don't you? And if you ever listen to interviews with like major artists, they all say exactly the same.
Yeah.
They all say exactly the same.
It's a bit tongue in cheek, isn't it? It's a bit fun. It's a fun song, a bit cheesy, but we like it.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's great. It's great, and it's very popular as well. And the next one we're going to do after that, which I'm going to play after, is "Falling," which is the lyric video, isn't it? We're going to play that at the end. Tell us a bit about that one.
I wrote that one years ago, didn't I? I had a couple that I wrote a long time ago when I was doing country as a solo artist, and "Falling" was one that just always stuck with me. But it never really sounded full enough. And there's another song we got coming out later in the year, which is I can't wait to put that one out, because it's just like it's a big one for me, because I've wrote a couple of these songs long before I ever met Emma, but they never sounded right, and "Falling" was one of them. I could never get them to sound right, and then as soon as the two vocals went on it, and the way Emma, when you hear the ballad that comes a bit further down, this producer, one of the things he did really well with both "Falling" and this ballad in particular was he really, really pushed us vocally. But he nearly pushed Emma to the brink of murdering him.
That's for the next song.
But the end result was something special. And then I was like, this is how I always kind of imagine these songs to be, because "Falling's" a rock song. It's a big rock song with big vocals, big riff in it as well, but it's still got those country elements. There's a little bit of banjo in there. There's a little bit of steel string. So it's got some, I don't know what you would, maybe sort of like Blackberry Smoke, Blackstone Cherry, even, you know, a little bit of that southern rock kind of sound.
I think as soon as you take Steve's vocal and put harmony on top of it, put my voice sitting on top of it, automatically people just go, oh, that sounds quite country.
Yes.
I think it's just something of the way that the rasp of his voice and the whatever I've got going on with mine, they just sit together, and as soon as the harmonies hit, people automatically go, oh, it's like rock country music, isn't it?
I like that. Yeah, I like that. And you know, you've done a good job when you come out the studio wanting to kill someone and feel actually emotionally drained. You know, you've done a good job. I look forward to hearing that one. But when do you think it'll be out?
"Falling's already out.
Falling's out. That's already,
"Falling" and "Country Life for Me" are both out. They're the first two that we put out, that we recorded up in Sheffield. We've actually got about 10 songs out now.
Yes, you've got a few of them there.
Yeah, there's quite a few people can go and have a listen to. Like I said, we self-produced, recorded everything, played everything on each of the tracks, and for a long time it was just me and you, wasn't it? So you know, it's been that room there that Emma's in is where a lot of the magic happens.
Magic. That's the magic room, isn't it? Oh, that sounds amazing.
And Emma's kitchen as well.
Yeah, my kitchen's gonna go down in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I hope.
Wonderful world of the kitchen. Yeah, that's so great. So if anyone wants to download your music, obviously you're on the normal platforms, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, that kind of thing. What about your social media channels? Have you got a website?
We've not got a website yet as such. We tend to use Linktree more, because people kind of decide where they want to go then, I think.
Yeah.
But if they go on to the one that we're really pushing the most, where we're going to be putting, you know, a large majority of our content that we've got planned, is going to be YouTube. That's the big one for us. And it's just at the Westlands Official. Okay. And they'll know because it says official YouTube channel across the top. There is another YouTube channel for us, but that's a long story.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. So it's the Westlands Official. And then of Facebook again, the same, the Westlands UK, and same on
Instagram and
Instagram,
TikTok,
I think,
and
all the rest. We're on them all. We're trying to be trendy.
You have to be though, really, don't you? Because social media, since the pandemic especially, social media is just like everywhere. You have to be on it, don't you? Yeah. Because the first thing I get asked all the time: "Are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram?" Yes. But it's been lovely. It's been lovely. So carry on.
I was just going to say, it was really nice to actually meet, speak with, I don't know where the approach came from, but Ken messaged me out of nowhere, just sort of introducing himself. And I was like, what is this? Because I'll be honest with you, you get a ton of people when you start gaining followers on certain platforms that start DMing you with, we promote this, we do that, it's only this much, it's only that much. And but when I spoke to Ken, I thought this sounds a little bit different. It actually sounds like someone who's trying to do something with UK based country music, which I thought was cool. Looked into it, sort of gave it a go, and we've only been it's been less than a month, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's not been long, has it? No.
Yeah, it's not been very long at all, and the amount, it doesn't stop.
No,
I know.
He doesn't.
I saw a few people in the group say like how hard this person works, but I really appreciate everything you guys have done already, because it's been loads and we barely got going yet. So that's really cool. Thank you.
Oh, no, anything you want as well, anything you feel we can help you with, just drop me a line. Ken's away for 2 weeks, so it's all about me at the moment. I'm going to be helping you out. So, anything you need, just give me a shout and we'll get on it. But anything, if you've got a new single coming out, old music you want to release, we'll send it to all the DJs. Ken will sit there all night and have about 4 different radio stations on different at once. This guy doesn't sleep.
I thought I was like that. Like me, we joked about this on my podcast the other week, didn't we? Where I will literally be messaging the band at any time of the day because I'm always having ideas and I want to do things. And
it's relentless. Steve is relentless. I have to turn my phone on silent and then flip it over upside down on my bedside table if I actually want to sleep at night on my phone. The light just goes off all night.
You wake up in the morning with a trail of messages.
Yes, I do.
I only seem to get ideas when I'm horizontal. It's like as soon as my brain starts switching off and I start going to sleep, I just get,
it's songwriter's curse.
Yeah, it's annoying, but
it is. Yeah, creative stuff comes at stupid o'clock.
Yes,
I sometimes wake up at night, go to the toilet, and sometimes some lyrics will come into your head. I've got to write that down before I forget them the next morning when I wake up. It's been absolutely wonderful to speak to you guys, and like I said, anything we can do, please get in touch. So it's me for the next couple of weeks, but please check out the Westlands guys. Go onto YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, download, stream, and follow. I don't think you'll regret it. Take care, guys, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. Bye then. Bye.
Just a dive bar on a Friday night, singing alone on stage tonight. I've always hoped for more than these. Guys at the bar ain't really listening. Couple in the corner, too busy kissing. I just wanna be a country star, and I just wanna see my name in lights of the huge lights with the ball band. Get so low from my own lane, sailing down Nashville, Tennessee. Country girls wearing my name on their shirt, kicking up dust with the blues in the dirt. This is a country life for me. That's where I want.
Working the bar and I'm pouring the drinks, watching these singers and